So you guys, seems to be a lot of emotion surrounding this next level of normal. I've heard it from literally thousands of people from these global live webinars that I'm doing, but also from my one-on-one coaching clients, and also from those in Mental Toughness Monthly, the group subscription. And I want to address that because it's really, really important. The good news is, if you are feeling very anxious or sensing a lot of emotion around going back to work or whatever that next level of normal is out in public, the good news is that you're 100% normal. We all are. We all have been having different reactions, have been adapting in different ways, but it's a very fluid situation, and it's very important to adapt now and be very agile and really adapt to the next level of normal in our workplace and beyond. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today, because if we don't, what happens? If we don't, it's going to affect our culture at work. It's going to affect our wellness, our productivity, our innovative ability. And honestly, right now it's affecting a lot of people's sleep. And if you haven't read Arianna Huffington's book titled The Sleep Revolution, and you want to be fully aware of what lack of sleep does to your body, I would recommend getting that book. But suffice it to say, beyond being, I've been there a long time ago, but I've been there, and besides being kind of a crazy lunatic, it really affects our well-being. It affects the people that we love the most and that type of thing. So I take this subject about how to build the mindset to thrive in the next level of normal, in the new normal, very, very seriously, and sleep is an important component of that. So, but there's some good news that we can do, and some things that we do have control over that can help us as we move into the new normal in our workplace and out in public. So the first thing is, if you can see this, hopefully it's not backwards, acknowledge and validate. So what does that mean? It's a lot more important to acknowledge and validate our emotions and feelings rather than trying to shove them out of our mind. So in other words, rather than saying I'm going back to work, they're doing all these things to keep me safe, don't worry, it'll be fine, that doesn't really work. Okay, I don't know if you've tried to do that, but our brain doesn't designate very well between do and don't. And so a lot of times we drop the don't. So if we're saying don't worry, of course you know what we're doing, we are worrying. So it's a lot more useful to kind of look that emotion in the face, if it's fear or worry or what have you, and like I said, acknowledge and validate it. So in other words, I'm noticing that going back to work is making me feel anxious, and it's okay. Okay, you can try doing that. Kind of still there, but it makes you kind of feel calm. And at least it should a little bit. And what this is going to do is teach you how to use these emotions to your advantage rather than having them disable your productivity, your innovative ability, your creativity, and your wellness. Okay? The first thing, acknowledge and validate. Okay? The second thing is to have some gratitude and compassion, okay, for yourself and others. Gratitude and compassion, because sometimes when we can step outside of ourselves and think of others, it can be a very powerful perspective. And a lot of times now, I'm going to throw women under the bus all at the same time. Even pandemic, no pandemic, we tend to be pretty critical, and not me, probably you guys. No, I'm just kidding. If I had $1 every time someone told me that, then I'm hard on myself. But it's very important to have a practice, and I do have a practice. It doesn't come naturally, but I have a practice on gratitude and compassion. So in other words, I am grateful for the job that I do have. I am grateful for the work that I do. I have great compassion for how I've been able to show up in the last, 8, 9, 10 weeks, and just have some gratitude and compassion that you've done your best. And when you start going out into public more and you start going out into your workplace more, have some gratitude and compassion, or next level gratitude and compassion for others. Be grateful for your job, be grateful for your colleagues. Know that, they are all dealing with, their various things too. So that can be really helpful to get you kind of grounded. And then finally, we need to decide. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I am 100% obsessed with this word, decide. Death of. I know it's an awful topic to talk about right now, but let me give you some context. It means death of any other option. You get to decide on your mindset. You get to decide of how you are going to show up in the new normal. You get to decide what couple words you are going to be living into. So my challenge for you when it comes to deciding in this next level of normal is decide on 1 or 2 words that you're going to commit to in the morning. So for example, my 2 words are calm and distance. Okay, so I'll tell you why. Calm is because I know that my best work comes when I am calm, because it allows me to focus. It allows me to be present, allows me to be clear. Distance is very important because rather than saying, oh, this situation's very making me anxious, I say I'm noticing. So for example, hiking out on the trail, it's wide open, but now there's a lot of people around, a lot of runners come by. I say I notice, I create distance between myself and the emotion. So I notice that I'm feeling a little nervous or a little anxious. And so by creating some distance, we can then make a decision about what's best for us. So in other words, if you think rather than I am anxious about going back to work, it can be I'm noticing that the idea of going back to work is making me feel anxious. And then take a step back and think, well, what is in my control that I can do? What is my next best course of action? So just like on the trail the other day, I decided to, do an about face and turn around and walk back the other way. You can think of things in the workplace that you have control over. It might be that you're going to wear a mask. It might be that you're going to tape off 6 feet around your desk and put a sign up, to ask people to respect that. And it also might be to decide on, the attitude and the mindset that you're going to have going into the office, So these 3 things, acknowledge and validate for yourself how you're feeling. So in other words, acknowledge it and then know that it's okay and normal for yourself and for others. Feel gratitude and compassion towards yourself and for your colleagues and family and others. And then decide what you have control over and the mindset or the 2 words that are going to define you as you enter into that next level of normal. Now, I've been doing tons and tons of webinars on these lately. I would say 10 in the last 8 weeks to be exact. So if I can help you in any way, elaborate any of these things, help you come up with a plan, I'm here to make this content real. I want to help you any way that I can with 100% gratitude for you and total confidence in you. I am cheering you on from the San Francisco Bay Area. Here's to you being amazing, and I look forward to seeing you next time.